Yo, what's going on? Today I'm back with another balloon cycle video. I pushed a top 500 in Retro Royale, and I'm going to be showing some of my better replays from that push. I was running this 2.9 loon deck. It's basically the same as what we normally run, but obviously without snowball and bar barrel. I think this deck actually plays pretty similar to the normal version. There are a couple of caveats because obviously no snowball, but more or less it's the same. We had some good matchups today, had some good games. I hope you guys are okay with this kind of content because I know it's not the same as normal Path of Legends stuff, but I'd say the quality of the gameplay was pretty high and a lot of the matchup stuff does carry over. So yeah, hope you guys will enjoy. Let me know if you want to see more Retro Royale stuff. So our first matchup is this Golemn deck. I actually didn't play super well this game. I think that I made a bunch of defensive mistakes, but I made a pretty good adjustment play that I think you guys will find interesting. Not a lot of people know about that play, so hopefully it will help out. Also, I was able to sort of adapt on the fly and kind of show you some good strategy about how you want to play against Golemn. But yeah, like I said, not a super perfect game. This kind of Golemn deck that runs Prince and NATO is super annoying, and you have to know how to play around it because it can be a really threatening attack. But when they go Golemn like this in single, you basically always want to go Naked Loon. Don't commit anything else to it. It'll be too much elixir. You want to force out like maybe a Baby Dragon or like a NATO on defense is ideal. But yeah, this is pretty much the most that you want to commit without to be able to still defend the Golemn. I did zap his Gob Gang because I didn't want to have to deal with it and I thought I would be okay. But yeah, if I did a bit earlier, I could have gotten more damage. Here, I'm worried about lightning. So I went with a bomb tower and Musk like that. But this is kind of what I mean by I messed up because I definitely should have realized that he had NATO. And I would have waited for his Golemn to pop and then go Musky low so I could defend it better. But yeah, not super great. My bomb tower is still somewhat alive, so I was able to kind of make the most out of that situation. But he does go knight here, prince, and I totally missed my kite. So again, not a good play. But this is kind of what I meant about a good adjustment play. So for most of you guys, what kind of play do you guys think you would make in this situation, right? Maybe you would just ignore the prince because the tower, he's already connected, like we have a really bad hand here, and yeah, it's probably already tower down, best to cut your losses. Maybe you would go minor to go on the prince, try and kill it faster. But I would say that 90% of players who go for that play would probably make a mistake. They're going to play their minor in front of their tower, and the prince is not going to get nudged off because he has an extra long range, and so he's going to keep on hitting the tower. Your miner is going to die after 2, and so you're going to be down even more elixir and your tower is dead. So what I did instead here is a play that you want to be doing against Prince, Dark Prince, Royal Ghost, Valk, cards that either have range or will splash the tower. So when you are low elixir and you want to push it off with miner, you don't go on the tile in front of the tower. You want to go one tile up. So you can see what I mean here. This position right here, you go one tile up to right where the prince is standing, and that's how you nudge it off. If you put it just in front of the tower, that would not work. And so I go for that late miner because I know he's out of support cards that are really threatening. So even if I'm down more elixir, it's fine. And why do I want to save this tower? Because against beatdown decks, you want to force them to have to fight for every last piece of tower damage. So in this position, like, he can't just lightning cycle me. It's not viable. I'll be able to get too much offense off. So he has to go with another Golemn, even though it's only at 990 HP. So to just save that last bit of tower means that I can get off another punish because he's going to have to Golemn twice. He's going to have to Golemn on this side, and then I'm presumably going to get the other tower down, and then he's going to Golemn again, and I get 2 balloon punishes. So really trying to make the most out of the punish game. So yeah, even though I messed up, you can kind of adapt and know the best play to make in the moment to sort of get back into it. So he goes Golemn, and then I am already hovering Zap, so I am able to get it off really quick so I can get the entire tower down. So we just kind of flipped that play. We went from a pretty bad position to now he's got a golem coming into my tower that I'm definitely going to sack, and I got his entire other tower down. So yeah, definitely don't be defending this. You want to play your bomb tower in this position to try and get as much value as you can. And then I made another small mistake here. Normally, when he spams you in the middle here, you want to go musky right behind your king tower. That way he can't NATO it in. But I played it in a bad spot, so he was able to NATO, but it's okay. He wasn't able to really do much anyways because I zapped. But yeah, so these kinds of judgments that you make in the middle of a game to try and figure out, oh, do I want to make him have to push into this tower again, or is it worth it to save this? Those are really important decisions that can against beatdown, because you basically win the game based on the number of punishes that you can get off. And yeah, also that placement for your miner is super important. But yeah, at this point the game is basically already won, right? His tower is so low. He just used his lightning. I can stack all my support units. I have a log, thankfully. Normally you wouldn't have another spell to get damage on their tower, but yeah, he doesn't have a lightning in hand. I can just, basically put my entire elixir bar in front of my tower, and there's nothing you can do. But yeah, not a super clean game. I made some defensive mistakes at the start, but a good little tip that you can use against Prince and other cards like that. The second match I'm going to show is against this Giant Graveyard deck. This guy is also a pretty good player, and Giant Graveyard is normally a pretty bad matchup. I think this version is a lot easier because he doesn't have Snowball and also not Bats, although I didn't realize it. He played pretty bad, like he kind of just made a pretty big mistake in single, but I was able to make some good plays that I kind of want to show off. So yeah, he went Zap and Night Witch, so at this point I'm already thinking that it's probably Giant Graveyard. You can see that I'm holding on my bomb tower, because in this position, if he goes Giant and then Graveyard at the bridge, which a lot of Giant Graveyard players do, if you don't block it with a Musk down, you will lose half your tower. There's nothing you can do. If you put your bomb tower in the middle and then you Musk on the Graveyard, it's not going to work. The Giant's still going to survive. You're going to have to use all of your elixir to defend. You're probably going to still take a bunch of damage. So you need to go bomb tower to block the bridge. So I'm holding on to it, waiting for him to go Giant, but he doesn't go Giant. And yeah, he goes Musky, which is a really bad play. And he overcommits on my Musky, which I probably could have gotten away with not logging, but I go Balloon at 0 there because I know that he doesn't have any error cards in hand. And then he went Giant. I thought he was going to Graveyard. He didn't have enough elixir, but I did end up blocking it. So probably could have gone Bomb Tower in the middle, but it's okay. My Balloon gets basically his whole tower, which is the hardest part about this matchup, is getting the damage, because even if you do like go Miner and Loon and kind of overcommit, you might get 1 or 2 hits, but then they'll stack a Bowler, stack a Night Witch, and then go Giant Graveyard, and there's absolutely no way you're defending. So you really need to know how to play around those kinds of his units like Bowler and Night Witch, which kind of dictate the pace of the game. But yeah, luckily I was able to recognize that he didn't have good air cards in single. Here, I knew that he was getting desperate because there's a minute 30 left. He didn't have enough damage, and so I thought he would go Graveyard with his Bowler. So I was hovering my Ice Golem, waiting for him to go Graveyard, and I'm able to block it. So pretty good heads-up play there. Not a super good Zap. He still gets some good Graveyard chip, but yeah. In this position, I believe he goes Giant, actually, yeah, which is a bad play because he just used his Graveyard too. So I'm really not scared of this push at all. In fact, I don't even need to get a Musk down because he doesn't have a big spell either. So I just Bomb Tower and then kite the support unit into the splash radius of the bomb. So that should be a good defense. And yeah, this deck is pretty nice because it has log, and normally we would have to commit more to that side, and it would be annoying, but yeah, I'm able to log it down a bit. So this play here, I'm going Musky in this lane because I know that he's trying to set up a push, and there's not that much time left, so I'm trying to basically block this right lane. So I go Musky here because it's going to stay for a bit of time on these guards, and it's going to get more value. And I knew that since he didn't have a big spell in hand, he was going to try and snipe it from across the river. So I go with a minor prediction here. And then I thought he's probably going to go musky, so I go log and then I zap as well. So it looked kind of like a pretty crazy prediction, but to be honest, it's actually not that risky, because for him, he basically is trying his best to unclog this right lane. He doesn't have a big spell and he needs to get rid of my muskie. So it's a very obvious play that he's gonna try and make to stack as many units as he can, because he doesn't have enough time. Otherwise, I could just stall. So yeah, you want to be pretty aware of what they're gonna try to do to your muskies, and if you make these kind of predictions, it can kind of destroy their push before it even starts. So yeah, pretty good play by me. And yeah, I knew he was gonna go giant graveyard here, obviously. So I blocked the bridge, like I said before. Be very careful not to be blocking the bridge if you don't have enough elixir for a muskie or even a miner, because the graveyard, you'll be able to defend it, but then that giant is going to get like 3,000 damage on your tower. So got to be very aware of how much elixir you'll have. But yeah, pretty good match against giant graveyard, normally a bad matchup. The next match I'm going to show is against giant double prince. So I think normally this is actually not really a bad matchup, but I thought it would be a good game to show because I know a lot of you guys are going to be facing it. It's a super popular deck in the meta right now, and it's also one of those decks where you can make a mistake really easily and they can just destroy you. So I kind of wanted to explain how you want to approach this matchup. So basically, for the most part, you want to remain really passive in single. Don't be attacking because it's super hard to defend their counter pushes, and you want to keep every drop of elixir you have, because they can really mess you up in single, and you want to be really careful. So try not to attack in single and just be very defensive. I know I said that, but I do end up attacking in single here. I went musky here, which this looks like a bad play, right? Because it's giving him a ton of lightning value, but I'm trying to bait him to lightning because I know that if he does, I can go naked loon and it'll take his entire tower. So I'm kind of waiting, but even though he doesn't, he goes musky he goes prince in the back. I know that he's not going to try and lightning this stuff anymore, or rather he might, but I'm about to go loon. So I go loon here because I know that all he has is a lightning. He has to lightning my balloon because he doesn't have a mega minion, and then my muskie will be able to kill his prince. Yeah. So I know I said not to attack in single, but that was a situation where he uses mega minion. And obviously I didn't go minor with that right side because that I think that would be an overcommitment. So yeah, be very careful about attacking if you do in single. I would say as a rule of thumb, just don't attack unless they give you a very clear opening. But yeah, now that his lightning is out of hand, I'm not really scared of his pushes at all, because he can't kill my muskie. I will say though, you want to be very careful about the way you use your skeletons in this matchup. So see, he goes giant at the bridge here. I think a lot of people, what they might do is they go bomb tower and they might go skeletons on the giant, because it looks like it could DPS it down really fast. But the thing is, in this matchup, this guy is running this guy has bomber, rage, zap. So his deck is literally perfectly made to get rid of skeletons. So do not use your skeletons on the giant. It's not going to get value. You want to save it for one of the princes because it can tank 3 shots from a prince, which is the same as an ice golem. So that's pretty crazy. So definitely don't use your skeletons in weird spots. And he's going to be going rage predictions, bomber at the river. He's going to try and kill your skeletons a lot. So just be very aware of what he's trying to do. Don't let him get a super good prediction. That's the way that you're going to lose. So yeah, I didn't go skeletons on that giant. I went minor instead. But yeah, like I said, try and be pretty passive in single. You really want to play reactionary. Don't be doing anything crazy. I would say even at times it's okay to leak, because say you have a bunch of good ground cards in hand, like good prince answers, there's no reason to play them because you're not trying to attack. So you can just kind of leak and wait for him to make a move. And don't be getting rid of any of the cards that you might need to defend too hastily. But yeah, just gonna keep on reacting to what he's doing. He goes giant at the bridge. I don't know. These giants at the bridges are super weird, I think. because yeah, it's not threatening. He's not going to have enough elixir for a lightning. But here I do go in now that it's double. Even though he has both of his cards in hand, he doesn't have his giant, so he can't even counter push. Normally he would go Mega Minion and then probably giant in front of it. But I'm able to get a good attack off here. And then I go skeletons and then zap the Mega Minion to try and get it to retarget. But which normally this play is really good with Snowball. And it would have gotten the whole tower if he didn't zap my skeletons. So good play by him. But I didn't try and commit anymore because, yeah, that push is basically dead. Here, so I think a lot of people in this position might not know what to do, right? When they're building up a push like this in double, you don't want to place your muskie in the back. So if you place your muskie in the back here, there is no position you can put your bomb tower that they can't lightning it. Even if you put it in the back corner, he will be able to lightning it because the muskie will walk up to the side of the tower. I've tested this before, right? The only position you would place your bomb tower, be able to put your bomb tower, if you put your muskie in the back corner, is really high at the river. But he has two princes that can jump over the bridge, so there's no point, right? So if you are going to defend this push, I wouldn't go muskie first. You want to wait a little bit and then go bomb tower and then probably go muskie so that he can't get a lightning. But a better play here is just to attack. But don't go too crazy because yeah, he still has a push in that lane. I did go everything here because I knew that it would force him to lightning and then he wouldn't really be able to support his giant. And so I do get one good hit there. And now this push is not very scary at all because he doesn't have lightning. And yeah, I'm able to get away with a good defense. His Mega Minion does get a good amount of damage, but yeah, should be okay. So now we're getting into this part of the game where it's sudden death and you have like 1 to 2 hits on his tower. This is exactly the kind of position you want to be in this matchup. So there's no way that you won't be able to defend his push as long as you don't mess up. And so you should be able to take his tower because you will be able to overcommit and just get a loon hit that will end the game. But what he's going to do is, oh yeah, and here, if you make sure you're spacing out your bomb tower, right, because he's going to lightning. But yeah, I think that in this position, a lot of people will get a little bit, sort of scared because they're trying to take the opponent's tower. They're thinking, oh, look at it, so low, I just need to go in. But you really need to maintain your composure here because a good beatdown player is going to like put their princes in the back so you never get a full health miner. And then they'll go like Mega Minion and Rage, and then your loon will barely die, and they'll go Giant the bridge, and then you're dead. So in these positions, don't get tunnel vision. Know that you don't necessarily need to get his tower because there's no way he's going to break through as long as you play good defense. So here, I went muskie in a bad position. I didn't play it all the way to the right. It's kind of halfway between the tile on the very right and to the left of it. So I knew I had to play my bomb tower a bit high. I mean, it didn't really matter because he didn't have lightning in hand, but just be super aware that your muskie position matters a lot for whether he can lightning or not. But yeah. Here, see, he's constantly playing stuff in the back. He doesn't want me to miner, so don't force it in the right lane. Switch up the lanes if you have to, right? Like in this position, if he doesn't lightning or rage that my balloon with his Mega Minion, it's going to take his whole tower. So yeah, don't get tunnel vision. Know that he's not going to be able to break through as long as you aren't stupid. And you don't even really have to take his tower, really. You can win in overtime. Although I would say probably don't leave it to triple because sometimes they can pull off some crazy comebacks. But I'm pretty sure in this match, I didn't end up going for his whole tower and I just won in sudden death overtime. Right here, I probably could have gone to the right because he didn't have lightning in hand, but I just played a bit safer. But yeah, be very careful about the way that you're spacing out your cards so that he can't lightning. That's the right musk placement, not the one that I did before. And then here, right, this is what I mean. He has Bomber, he has Zap, he has Rage. In this position, do not let him get a stupid Skeletons prediction. So if you are going to play your Skeletons, like I did, immediately play something after because, you never know what will happen with that Prince. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure I win this match just in, without taking his tower. but I don't actually think it's that bad of a matchup. You just have to be very careful about the way you approach it, and not to make a silly mistake in single, and to know how to defend. Okay, and the last matchup I'm going to show is against Icebow. Icebow is a really bad matchup for us, but there are a lot of tricks that you can do to try and beat it. I think I beat it 3 times today. I did actually lose this match, but I played very, very well, and I think it's a good example of how you want to approach this matchup. I only lost by like 5 HP, and I had I should have been able to take his tower. Like, I had a miner, but I just didn't think that he could get that much damage. So I basically should have won this game. But yeah, I think against Icebow, there are a lot of tricks you need to know. The first thing is you really, really, really need to play around his knight. This is like the only way that you're going to be able to get damage, right? It's not your balloon, it's not your miner. You need to use your musk, right? So a play that you want to be doing is you want to go Ice Golem in the middle of the arena, and then go Musky behind it, right? And if you think about it, why is this play important? Normally, obviously, you don't want to play your Musk in the back because he's going to just rocket it. If you go Ice Golem and Musk in the middle, basically he has to commit his knight to kill your Muskie, right? Because he doesn't actually have that many other cards that are good at tanking. And then when he does that, all he has in hand for your miner is Skeletons and maybe an Ice Whiz. You just go miner on tower and then zap or snowball it. And then that's the way that you want to be getting damage. And then these kinds of musks in the middle can force him to make really bad plays, because when his knight isn't in hand, he has to use really awkward cards like Tesla and Ice Whiz to get rid of it. And then you can bait those out and then try and get smart loon plays. And you really, really want to be keeping track of what air cards he has. So this is basically how you want to approach it, but you have to be super cognizant. And yeah, it's still a bad matchup, but this is what I mean, right? So I played my Muskie here. I know for a fact here that he has to go, he has to save his knight to put it on my Muskie. So I'm kind of waiting. I see that he plays his knight, and then I try and protect it and go miner, because now I know that he only has Skeletons. I don't think I ended up zapping this because I knew he would log, but yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I mean about always playing around their knight. Now I know he doesn't have knight in hand, so I'm going to do the play that I just talked about, where you go Ice Golem in the middle, and then you go Muskie behind it. And now see, his hand is messed up, right? Because he doesn't have his knight back. He has to use, either here he goes a weird Tesla or he rockets. Both of them are bad because probably if he rockets, you couldn't really punish, because he'll just go Tesla NATO if you go loon. But you could go like loon in the back because he uses Ice Whiz already, and then try and make something happen. But basically just try and mess up his cycle and force him to make weird plays. So he doesn't rocket, he ends up doing this Tesla. And then late night on my Muskie. So I believe I go balloon here. Yep. And then I was hoping that I could maybe get some death damage or something, but he does NATO it into his Tesla. But again, his hand is still pretty messed up here, right? Just not a good cycle for him. So I'm able to go miner, and then no knight. I go log predict on his Skellies, but he goes Skellies late. Probably could have played it away from the Tesla, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing the play that I just said. And now he does the exact same play as last time. And so this time I make a little bit of an adjustment. I go loon again, but then I go miner on the left side, because I know that he's going to NATO my balloon in like last time. And then like this, I can tank the Tesla for a bit and then hopefully get death damage, which I do. And then now, this is another really hard part of the matchup, is when they go expos, right? You need to know what they have in hand. You need to know when they're going to NATO your Ice Golem. You need to know if they have knight in hand to block your bomb tower, or if they're going to go Tesla. It's really hard, but you can't mess up. And if you mess up once, you're probably going to lose. It's easier with this with this deck because you can retarget with Zap, but yeah, I knew he didn't have knight in hand to block my bomb tower, so I went it super early. Even if he went Ice Whiz up front, I could just log it and then go Ice Golem, and then probably like miner late and then zap. But yeah, in this position, I'm probably just gonna play a miner in front of the tower. I didn't play it on his tower because I knew that he might try and get back to another expo, and if I play on my side, it kind of stays alive for longer and it'll be able to tank the next one too. And so he goes knight here. I know he's trying to expo again. You kind of have to think about what your opponent is thinking. So I'm right here. I go bomb tower. I messed up here because it was pretty obvious that he was going to go Tesla, but you can't panic here, right? You don't want to go loon on there. He's just going to NATO it away. And then if you do go ice golem, you have to know that he's probably going to NATO it, right? Because he has in hand. So as soon as you go ice golem, make sure you go skellies. You can't let him get that connection. And yeah, good skeletons play by him, but I'm able to use my musk to keep it alive. Here, when his expo is this low, you do not want to overcommit with a zap onto his expo because he's going to get back to another one. You need to save your elixir, so be smart. So yeah, I'm able to predict him this time. And then I just zap everything. I probably could have went miner on his expo instead of on his ice whiz, but that's okay. And then now we get to the last hard part of the match. So this is probably the third phase when he starts rocket cycling. So I go musk low because I'm trying to build a push. He's pretty smart, and he nados in the other lane because he knows it's going to be really annoying to deal with. So I do a pretty smart play here, right? And this is a very situational play. Don't do it all the time. You need to know what they have in hand. But basically, when you have a surviving musk here, you can play your miner on the inside tile of the other tower, and it will tank both towers. So you can see I went in there, and I play my miner on the inside tile on the right side. It tanks the left side tower too. And now while he's defending my loon on the other side, my muskie's actually destroying his left lane, and he didn't even realize, but yeah, I got even more damage on the left side there because of my muskie. And now I'm set up well to keep going in with the play that I talked about earlier about going Ice Golem and then Muskie. Again, no knight in hand. I probably could have played this last part a bit better, like not go onto his Ice Whiz and instead go miner on tower because I need that damage. But yeah, I'm up around 800. I know that he's going to keep rocket cycling me, so it's time to pressure. You need to keep going in with your Muskies low, play around his knight. And so I'm going in here, and now he played his knight low, and this is a position where you can get away with a pretty cheeky play. If you think that he's going to NATO your balloon back, which I thought he was going to do it here, you can go with another muskie, and then when he NATOs it, the muskie is going to get pulled in. So it kind of didn't work out super well there, but because his knight was still alive, but he does miss this skeletons on my muskie, and I get lucky 2 hits. So yeah, good play there. I keep going in. Again, probably could have played my miner in a better spot. Here, I really thought that I had him because I thought that I was up too much damage for him to be able to come back. So I thought all I had to do was defend this expo. Again, I knew he was going to NATO that, so I went skeletons low, go miner in front of tower. And now, yeah, it looks like I'm about to win, right? I just keep on spell cycling his tower. But at this point, after I've zapped his tower, I thought there's no way that he could get enough damage. Like, I thought that I was in the clear. So honestly, I should have gone miner on his tower, but yeah, I went with a log onto his expo, and he's able to win by just a little bit, which really frustrated me because I thought I was good. But yeah, I played that game quite well, just messed up at the end there. Should have just played a miner on his tower or logged his tower or something. So yeah, I barely lost, but that's a pretty good example of how you want to play against Icebo. And I did win like 3 other times, but I think this game was actually the best one to show. So yeah. Alrighty, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed those matches. I tried to give the best analysis I could. Hope it wasn't too boring. Gonna be trying to make more videos in the future. I'm getting pretty busy in real life, so not sure when that will happen, but yeah, I have a couple ideas lined up, from like GCs to matchup analysis or micro tricks. So I have a good amount of ideas, but yeah, let me know if you guys want more Retro Royale stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.